My life fades. The vision dims. All that remains are memories. I remember a time of chaos, ruined dreams, this wasted land. But most of all, I remember the road warrior, the man we called Max.
Hello everyone, today I'll be discussing Mad Max 1979 and Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior 1981, two groundbreaking films directed by George Miller that reshaped the landscape of the post-apocalyptic genre. These films, set in a dystopian future where society has collapsed, introduced a unique visual style, compelling characters, and a brutal yet exhilarating portrayal of survival in a lawless wasteland. Mad Max and The Road Warrior didn't just entertain, they influenced a generation of filmmakers, video game developers, and artists across various mediums. These films redefined action cinema with their practical effects, car chases, and minimalist storytelling, leaving a lasting impact on the genre and beyond.
Nope, I'm actually okay, thank you very much. Where the hell are we?
I don't know. Looks kind of Mad Maxy.
But that would be IP infringement, right?
Fucking jokes.
Mad Max was born out of director George Miller's experiences as an emergency room doctor, where he witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of car accidents. This experience fueled his vision of a violent, chaotic world where resources like fuel and water are scarce, and survival depends on speed and ruthlessness.
This is a threshold moment, Johnny. Step through.
Oh, kind of, this isn't what I want.
Light it. Bronze. They keep you from being proud.
Look at him. Looks silly, doesn't he? Upside down.
Do it for freedom and the night.
I can't.
Throw it.
No!
Scum-sucking trash.
Throw it! Throw it! Stay the pain!
The films drew inspiration from several sources. One of the most notable influences is the oil crisis of the 1970s, which created global panic over dwindling resources, a theme central to the Mad Max universe.
Good evening. For millions of Americans, this may be the worst weekend they've ever faced for finding gasoline to give them the automobile freedom they take as their due. Gasoline shortages are spreading across the country. Odd even service, gasoline lines, and closed gas stations are becoming increasingly common. And the news from overseas tonight gives no promise of quick relief.
Tell that goddamn governor he's gonna police this goddamn gasoline situation. I will not take the blame for this thing. I will not take the crap and the harassment from these customers. Now let him police it or stop selling gas.
Anger and bewilderment are growing as more and more Americans cope with gasoline lines and empty pumps.
The Western genre also played a significant role, particularly in The Road Warrior, which mirrors the structure of classic westerns. A lone hero comes to the aid of a beleaguered community. Additionally, the aesthetic of the films borrows heavily from biker culture, with leather-clad characters, customized vehicles, and a punk rock sensibility that gives the films a distinctive, anarchic edge. George Miller also cited Japanese cinema, particularly the works of Akira Kurosawa, as a major influence. The sparse dialogue, moral ambiguity, and emphasis on visual storytelling in Mad Max and The Road Warrior reflect Kurosawa's style, blending action with deeper philosophical questions about humanity and civilization. Mad Max and The Road Warrior revolutionized the post-apocalyptic genre. Before these films, the genre was often rooted in nuclear paranoia or alien invasions. Miller shifted the focus to a more grounded, resource-driven apocalypse, emphasizing human conflict over supernatural or extraterrestrial threats. The barren, desert-like landscapes, makeshift weapons, and cobbled-together vehicles became iconic visual motifs that would be replicated in countless films, TV shows, and video games. Films like The Book of Eli, 2010, Doomsday, 2008, and even franchises like The Hunger Games owe a debt to the gritty aesthetic and narrative structure of The Road Warrior. Video games like Fallout, Borderlands, and Rage are heavily influenced by the Mad Max films, from their open world, desert environments to their focus on vehicular combat and survival mechanics. The Mad Max universe also inspired comic books, anime, and even music videos, making it a cultural touchstone that transcends its original medium. The Mad Max franchise, particularly Mad Max 1979 and Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior 1981, redefined the depiction of lawlessness and societal collapse in post-apocalyptic cinema. Unlike earlier dystopian films that often portrayed government or military institutions maintaining a semblance of control, Mad Max thrust audiences into a world where civilization has completely crumbled, and law is an abstract memory. George Miller's vision of a post-apocalyptic wasteland is not one governed by remnants of order, but by pure chaos, where might makes right and survival is the only currency. In Mad Max, lawlessness is personified through roving gangs like the Toe Cutters Gang and later the Marauders led by Lord Humongous in The Road Warrior. These groups operate with no moral code, embodying a brutal Darwinian reality where the weak are exploited or eliminated. The collapse of societal structures is visualised through the breakdown of infrastructure, abandoned highways, and the barren Australian outback, which serves as both a literal and symbolic representation of humanity's descent into anarchy. The police force, once a symbol of law and order, is reduced to a skeletal, powerless entity, the MFP, or Main Force Patrol, highlighting the futility of traditional institutions in a world without societal cohesion. It shifted the focus of the genre from external threats to internal human decay, illustrating that the greatest danger in a post-apocalyptic world is not the environment or some external force, but the collapse of morality and social order within humanity itself.
They say people don't believe in heroes anymore. Well, damn them! You and me, Max. We're gonna give them back to heroes.
One of the most remarkable aspects of Mad Max and The Road Warrior is their commitment to practical effects. In an era when CGI was either non-existent or in its infancy, George Miller relied on real stunts, real cars, and real explosions. The high-speed chases were filmed on open roads in Australia, with stunt performers risking their lives to achieve the visceral, kinetic energy that defines these films. The cinematography also broke new ground. Miller used innovative camera rigs to capture the action from dynamic angles, placing viewers directly in the middle of the chaos.
What you see on screen is, for the most part, real, with all those incredible feats executed by a team of apparently fearless stunt performers. Stunts were performed that had never been attempted before, from a road tanker rolling over at 65 miles per hour, to a biker riding smack into a stationary dune buggy, propelling him a distance of 65 feet.
The editing, fast-paced and relentless, keeps audiences on the edge of their seats, while the minimal use of dialogue forces viewers to focus on the visuals and the physical performances of the actors. The character of Max Rokitansky, played by Mel Gibson, is another key element. Max is a man of few words, a reluctant hero driven by personal loss and the instinct to survive. His arc from a grieving family man to a hardened wanderer reflects the moral decay of the world around him, making him one of the most iconic anti-heroes in cinema.
Two days ago, I saw a vehicle that had hauled that tanker. You want to get out of here? You talk to me.
The Mad Max franchise itself has continued to evolve, culminating in Mad Max Fury Road 2015, which won 6 Academy Awards and brought the series to a new generation of fans. Fury Road retained the core elements of the original films: practical effects, intense action, and a focus on resource scarcity, while introducing a more diverse cast and exploring feminist themes through the character of Furiosa. Outside of the franchise, the influence of Mad Max is evident in popular culture. The aesthetic of dystopian chaos, with its punk-inspired fashion and brutal landscapes, has become a shorthand for post-apocalyptic settings in media. The films also sparked a renewed interest in the Australian film industry, paving the way for other Australian filmmakers to gain international recognition. More importantly, they established George Miller as a visionary director capable of blending action with deeper thematic content. In conclusion, Mad Max and The Road Warrior are more than just action films. They are cultural landmarks that reshaped the post-apocalyptic genre and left an indelible mark on cinema. Their influence can be seen across film, television, video games, and beyond, proving the enduring power of George Miller's vision. These films remind us of the fragility of civilization and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of chaos, making them timeless works that continue to resonate with audiences around the world.
And the Road Warrior? That was the last we ever saw of him. He lives now